Salutations friends and welcome to another video of SpellForce 3. Okay, so I think we're done with Everlight for the moment. We'll come back here later. And yeah, I do have some loot I wanted to get rid of. Yeah, a lot of this low level equipment. I could do it on these merchants, but we have plenty of merchant companions in Mulandir. So I might as well do it there, and we can move along with a bit of the side quest, of the main quest I mean. But the casual soldier just picking berries. Okay, let's go there.
Tiara's breath. You haven't promised too much to Har. This place is incredible.
Just wait until you see it in action.
Just don't forget, we're here for a purpose.
I won't. I'll go talk to Flynn now. We need to find a good place to set up camp. And, if you want to talk, you know, about the past, then feel free to come by.
In any case, with our new allies, we should be able to go look for the stones. Let's talk at the forge.
Though it might be wise to look for more support first. We don't know what to expect there.
Yeah, I'm with Iria. I still need to gain Elven allies. You can just move on with the main quest, but I want the Elves as well. So we can complete all the allies in Mulandir. Now, what should I do first?
Yes?
Okay, now that I do have Undergast, I will try and make him a healer, since he has pretty good spells for healing and damage at the same time. Yeah, and I think, yeah, I'll get Iria to have these archer skills. Because her, well, basically when you do level up and the game just moves on in late game, each hero gets some pretty awesome abilities. And it's really not worth it to have two healers. Might as well make Undergast since he's a full mage. And just focus Iria on archery. Yeah, so that's usually what I do until I get Undergast. Just have Iria heal, then use a potion of fresh start on Iria and make her an archer. Probably none of your future companions will be better archers than her, so just save them for her. How many potions? 3... well, 8. That's more than enough. I'll even use one on the avatar later on. But Raise is awesome against enemy towers. I really want that. I'm just not sure I want him to dual wield yet. Maybe I'll go for two-handed weapons and Uram will dual wield. Yeah, that seems like something I would do. As for Gore, I'll keep him doing what he does best. That's fire magic. Iskrim, the tank, as expected. But Iria, yeah, I want to reset all of her abilities. So let's give her a potion of fresh start. That's it. And can she use it? No. Shit. Okay. How the hell can I make her drink it? I might need to get her on a map. But that works out well since I did... when I did Farlon's Hope again. Well, in this campaign, I didn't really notice it at first, but there's a cave there I didn't go to, and there's a quest item. I need to get that.
What do we need? Got it.
So let's work on these skills. Well, definitely I want Uram to go on the occultist tree. And dual wielding. That should be good for him. Focus regeneration, raise. Well, he would be great at that. basically when I have him and the avatar, the two of them will be awesome base destroyers. Yeah, auto attacks apply bleeding, and but the thing is, he doesn't get any black magic, but the avatar does, and leech becomes awesome. Same thing with the undead. When you do get the last undead, I think, not the two that you have here, but the third, they become extremely tanky and they explode when they get killed. So that's super useful. I still need to think what my last skill will be for the avatar, but probably black magic. Area, yes, I'll remove all the white magic and go for archery. Isgrim, I'll leave him as he is. Gore, the same. Uram. Still tricky. Could make him more of a tank, and I definitely want that. I want him to be able to take a couple of hits. But I did invest in dual wielding already. Same thing with the avatar. But I don't want them to be equal. So I think I'll focus on two-handed weapons. But later on I will get some very good one-handed weapons. And with leech, that can be awesome. Same thing with brutality. So maybe I should make him a dual wielder instead. No, a two-hander. Instead of having the avatar. But for now let's just give him constitution and a couple more points in occultism. Bloodthirst. And that should be okay for now. Now Undergast and Rowan. Undergast, yeah, I want you to have white magic. Healing. That should be nice for now. I don't want all the healing. Well, resurrection, yeah. But I want paradox magic. Definitely. This is awesome. It heals your allies and damages enemies. I definitely want that. Now give him more willpower so he can do some damage. Intelligence. Also bit of constitution so he doesn't get killed easily. Now Rowan. He's always tricky for me. Primal magic, obviously I want that. He does start with sword and shield. No idea why. Maybe that's... they wanted him to be more of a warrior, but these are just magic. Combat opportunists. Block chance. Okay. Could make him wear a shield too, but make him more of a paladin, something like that. For that he would need a lot of constitution. We'll have him be a mix of sorts. All of your melee attacks deal additional fire and ice damage. Nice, that's great. Chain lightning. Units in the target area inflict additional ice, and that's fire. Yeah. Well, pretty awesome. Some pretty good AoE effects. Wrath of the Elements. Damaging all enemies. Enemies that attack him become impaired and weakened. Well, should be a good warrior. Give him a bit of constitution and intelligence. No, not intelligence. Also increases focus regeneration, yeah. Total focus points, yeah, let's get that. I'll make him more of a mix, and we'll see. Obviously more spell power. These are just my initial thoughts. Later on I'll see what I do with these heroes. Undergast That's great. Awesome. Now about this, let's see. Do I... Probably Titan's armor is the best one I can get. Yeah, let's get it. Don't think I have it. Now, sorry if I took too long with this, but I wanted to have things settled. Now, where's Flynn? Commander Flynn, yeah. I can talk to Rowan. There should be a lot of
What's next?
backstory when I do start talking to him. I do have a lot of them to talk, Undergast as well, and Kier should be around here.
Yes?
So before I talk to Rowan, let's go and sell a lot of our loot.
Now would you look at that?
Now look at that. The fabled Corporal. Good to finally meet you in person. I'm Flynn, second in command of the Wayfarers. I have to say, for someone who only led a puny Nortander division once, you're doing quite a good job leading an army so far. Not of them saying I couldn't do better, but still. Anyway, if you come to arm our men, I strongly suggest you do so.
But you're armed already, aren't you?
Well, yes, with rusty swords and dented armors. I mean with proper equipment. If you give me the coin, I'll send out orders to my contacts in Everlight. It'll improve our strike force significantly.
Yep, that's definitely what I want most of my money to go to. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, let's continue. I can... well, tell me more about you before we start talking about equipment.
Can you tell me more about you? Rowan seems to think highly of you.
As he should. What do you want to know?
So, what's your job in the Wayfarers?
Well, let's just say that I know a great deal of people. And I can also handle myself in a fight.
Okay, that's simple.
What did you do before the Wayfarers were formed?
Depends on how far before we're talking. I did some jobs here and there and then joined the military.
Some jobs.
So you were a baker? A bard?
Very funny. I was a mercenary.
And then you joined the Royal Army?
Yes, I was even part of the Wolf Guard for a year or so.
Really? How come we never met?
Because that was way before your time. I know I don't look it, but I'm quite some years ahead of you, Tahar. I served under General Noria, under Sentenza, before that disaster at the Iskander Fortress.
How come you left?
Well, there were a couple of reasons. In a nutshell, I didn't agree with some of the things Sentenza made us do. So I deserted, just like you.
Well, yeah, you are a bit of a deserter.
Anyway, after I left, I went back into the mercenary business for a while. Then the mage war broke out, things went to shit, and I went into hiding. Finally, a year ago, I met Rowan, and he told me about his idea. I immediately agreed. Doing good while not being bound to uniforms, orders, and morning drills was something I'd always wanted to do. I simply didn't expect anyone else to share that vision.
Well, okay then.
I want to buy some better equipment for the Wayfarers.
Music to my ears. What did you have in mind?
Okay, so a lot of this is pretty damn expensive. But considering the amount of loot you'll get on the whole campaign, you should be able to buy most of this.
Yes?
For all factions, I mean.
I want to buy...
Music to my ears.
He only has
What did he have in mind?
5,000. I won't buy any plans for now, but I do want to sell a lot of this. Now, these are all quest items and documents. I want to sell this equipment. No, before I do that, let's equip the heroes. You have dual wielding for now, so Zerak's drill, ignoring armor, that's good, and crushing sword maybe. Weak damage but a fast weapon and good critical chance. Or just fire. My damn dog's freaking out. Just hold a minute. Okay guys, so sorry about the noise. Normally I record during the night, so there's not that much. But at daytime...
I want to buy some better...
Music to my ears. What did you have in mind?
If just a single mailman appears in the neighborhood, my dogs start freaking out. So we'll sell most of this low-leveled armor and a pretty good price for these low-leveled robes and such. I'm sure I can sell all this. Don't even need to worry about it. Attack speed reduction, don't want that. Okay, that's a good price. And now let's see. You are okay. Same thing for Iria. I'll focus on her when I use the potion of fresh start. Iskrim. Blood boiler? No, the Mace of Restoration is pretty good. And it keeps him, well, healed. And he already has plenty of health. As for shields, yeah, that's the best he'll get for the moment. We can't give him any armor. We'll have to upgrade it. Gore's fine. I won't give him that, that just doesn't fit. As for... yeah, let's keep the Black Hood. Already has rings. Have no better staffs for him. Uram, now this guy. As for weapons, probably the Crushing Sword. It has good speed and critical chance. Bit less damage than the Katana, but yeah, critical chance and speed is better. Actually, we'll keep him like this for the moment. Just to see how good he performs. Damn, some pretty good armor. Well, he does have 9 constitution. As for helmets, let's see. Immunity against interrupts. Okay, that's more than welcome. Already a heavy fighter. Should be pretty tanky. Black magic, that's good. Mirror of Frost. Well, you're pretty well equipped for now. Even if you don't do that much damage, you are damn well protected from them. Uram's okay. Rowan, another tricky character. Probably I should have given him... can he use the spear? He can. Yeah, we'll give him a spear and a shield. Restoration. On block, he does get healed. Anything with block chance? No, but that's fine enough. As long as I can give him better armor. Yeah, he should be well protected. Now another helmet. Damn, holy shit. Already pretty well armored at this stage of the campaign. Just the avatar's the only one a bit shitty, since I didn't invest that much in constitution yet. But I will in the following levels. Uram, Rowan, Undergast, he should be fine. Well, actually, yeah, this robe's better, and spell cost for white magic decreased. That's what I want for him. His current headscarf seems fine. No rings for him, I'll get that later. And his stuff should be fine. 40 damage. No area of effect, but that's not really a problem. And that seems fine for now, until I use the potions of fresh start.
Will do. Fortune favors the man with the crossbow.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I don't think I want to purchase anything.
Will do.
I'll leave Rowan for the last speech.
Let's see.
Let's talk to Kerr.
Yes?
Now the Avatar, he's performing pretty well with the Great Axe. I wanted to have him dual wield, but I think I'll just go for two-handed weapons.
Interesting.
So, this is your place. Huh. Interesting. I like the architecture. It has grace.
You like it?
Yes, imagine an orc who isn't all about pikes and spikes. Either way, let me know if you need my knowledge.
Will do. Thanks, Kier.
Okay, then.
Yes.
Closer.
Plenty.
Just what you need.
Well, pretty cheap ones over here as well. Tribe totem building. Yeah, but these just increase the hit points of your buildings. Nothing particularly useful.
You know how to
Yes.
bargain, don't you?
I won't sell most of that yet. I want to revamp area skills. So before I talk to... well, I need to talk to everyone, basically. Talk to Area, Gore. So maybe what I should do is do those... wait a second. Yeah. So I'll leave Mulandir for a bit. I want to go to the foot of Barga Gor. There's... yeah, I want to bring Iria. Iskrim, you can stay.
Leave it to me.
Get Uram and... Gore can stay as well.
We'll make
Let's
short
get
work
Rowan.
of them.
In the shadow of the eponymous mountain lies the wasteland referred to as the Foot of Barga Gor. It is home to the orcish tribe called the Firewielders, as well as to many unforgiving beasts, from the undead to demons. While most travelers stay away from Barga Gor for this very reason, the Firewielders
Oh, so here I am.
Understand.
Now the reason I came here is to get the weapon from the orc forge there. Yeah, there's an orc blacksmith.
What?
And he should have a side quest for me. Now the last time I was here I could have done it, but
Understood.
I completely forgot about it. Now Iria, that's... I just want you to get that potion of fresh start. Nice. Now just invest everything into archery. Arcane archery, yeah. Arrow of light deals white damage and also heals your allies if they are near it. And also Paling shot maybe? Now that we do have Undergast, I really don't have that much use for a mage. A healer, I mean. That's strength and... serrated arrow, maybe? For bosses? The ricochet arrow should have been a better choice, but for now, she will be okay. Now, yeah, you're naked. We'll fix that in a moment. And I have no bows for her yet, so let's see. Composite bow, we should probably have better than that, yeah. So, dexterity 6. Nice. Listening bow, that's white damage. Well, crossbows are slower, but they do more damage. But they do have less critical chance. But I'll have bows for her. As for armor, let's see. Have a couple of points in Constitution, Dexterity, but I also want more focus. Yeah, total focus points and intelligence. That's probably a bit too low. So maybe remove a bit of Constitution and get more intelligence and willpower. If I could get some light armor, something like this. At least it doesn't make her slow. No, I don't want sight range reduced. I want her to have as much range as possible. So maybe just give her a hood. And she's pretty fine for now. That's definitely what I wanted to do with her. Now Uram, you're fine for now. We'll see how well you perform with dual wielding. Do I want to revamp the whole tree for the avatar? Maybe I'll hold on a minute.
What's next?
Don't worry, dearie. We'll fix you up in no time. That brute doesn't know how lucky he is to have you.
Who are you talking to?
What? I'm talking to the hammer, of course. The weapons deserve my attention much more than most orcs, let alone some pale-skinned vagabonds. Now, go away, will you? I need to get back to my magnum opus.
Okay, magnum opus.
Tell me...
About the fine art of forging? Fine. If you insist, I guess I can spare a minute. Forging new weapons is all about patience and care.
That's not what I...
Most orcish smiths are blasted idiots with no imagination. They can barely sharpen an axe, you see. Any third-rate moron can form a chunk of steel that resembles a weapon. But if your goal is to actually hurt something that isn't your arm, I wouldn't recommend trading with these cretins. Absolutely not.
Okay.
What is my favorite alloy? Now that's an interesting question. I call it Burgle's Beautiful Brew, Triple B for short. I can't tell you what it is, but let's just say it melts the competition away. You'd really like to know, wouldn't you? It's the best kept secret in the kingdom. I can just tell you that the secret ingredient is a substance I call TLC.
TLC?
Tender love and care. Without TLC, my blades would have been no better than the wares of these talentless trolls.
Okay then.
Magnum opus?
Oh, yes! I shall call it Zarak's Fang. Once completed, it will be the deadliest weapon ever created. The only problem is that I'm still missing one ingredient. Actually, why not? Look, you seem marginally smarter than most sword-wielding idiots I deal with.
Marginally.
What do you say? Do you want to be part of blacksmithing history and help me complete the blade? It's not like you have more important things to do.
I don't.
You will? Wonderful! What I need is a bone Nora's horn. Admittedly, it is a ferocious beast, and there's a good chance the Nora will slowly tear you to pieces if you try to fight it. But then again, isn't that an acceptable risk when history is on the line? So, what do you say?
Of course I will.
Fine, I'll...
Wonderful! Oh, you've made the right choice. Future generations will sing songs of the brave nitwit who assisted Burgle the Magnificent in completing his greatest work of art. I shall await your return here, brave soldier. Ah, and by the way, you may call me Burgle.
Yeah, until then.
Okay. Orcs are an interesting race in SpellForce.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay, so the Vampiric Great Axe should make quick work of that Gnoller. We do have some strong companions now. He should prove no challenge, especially with Rowan's elemental imbuing. Works on the heroes as well. For how long? 15 seconds. So let's try and do this. Let's try and make use of it. Well, takes a while, but
Well,
nice.
they will burn.
Let's see.
Single individuals, they don't stand a chance.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes? Anything on your mind?
And healing isn't so important now, and so we can now take advantage of
Yes.
Iria's skills. The hell, freaked out for a moment.
Uh-huh. Just give the word.
Her health should be enough. Focus seems great as well.
What do we need?
Now, look at that! You're actually back, and you still have all of your limbs! Do you have the horn?
Take a look. Is that...
Let me see! Zarak's fangs, you're right! I don't know what to say! You really are the most exceptional out of all the cretins with swords I've ever met! Your bravery will now be immortalized. Historians shall call you Pale Skin the Great. Anyway, let me get to work. We shall talk about your reward when I'm done.
Oh, okay.
Lo and behold, here it is, my magnum opus, Zarak's Fang, the greatest orc weapon ever created. Only the bravest of all warriors is worthy of wielding it, but you're all that's available, aren't you? Damn it. All right, I have an idea. You will take me with you, and in return, I'll let you wield the Fang. I have to make sure that you treat it with respect.
Okay, so another companion.
Fine, why not? At least you know your craft. Just join me at the border to Iskander. I'll take you to our camp.
Of course I do. Now look, here it is, Zarak's Fang. Please treat it with respect, will you? I'll go on ahead now and wait for you.
And there it is. Same damage, bit more DPS, bit faster, and bleeding. Still, the Vampiric Great Axe does give Leech 25% of the damage I inflict. Yeah, that's quite a lot. I will not get it yet.
Yes.
Okay, so we have another companion. And before I do anything else and go back to Mulandir, I still want to go back to Farlord's Hope. So I'll just come here to get to that cave that I missed. Yeah, we can get the same guys. Actually, Uram, you can stay. Let's bring Undergast.
I will do as I must.
Okay. What the hell? Some of the refugees were left behind.
Yes?
Okay, you all
I'll take a look.
travel to the north. And this small entrance here leads to a
Now would
cave
you
and
look at that.
it has a quest item. And I want to get it.
Interesting.
Not sure for what it is, but I definitely want it.
House Iskander's former wealth was grounded in their abundance of mineral deposits, opals and amethysts. Though most of the deposits were depleted by now, the Mage Wars and the fall of House Iskander lured many soldiers of fortune and miners back into the Iskander wildlands.
Now, let's see. Should be a couple of bandits down here.
They will fall.
There. Let's see just how much damage. Holy shit. I love Undergast.
Let's see.
Okay. Couple of potions and some gold.
Here we go.
I mean, what an awesome spell.
Now would you look at
Dealing
that.
damage to enemies while also healing your characters. Hard to miss a spell like that. Okay, some pretty damn good armor. And there's the quest item. Okay. Not sure for what
got it.
I do need it. But it's a quest item. And there's nothing else to do here. I came back just for this. Now I can turn to... Okay, just a shovel. Nothing else to do here. Actually... Yeah, let's meet the Goblin King.
Will do.
Maybe I can complete this side quest. I should have more than enough goblin meat. Just not sure it's the goblin meat he wants. Holy shit, that's one... That's plenty of goblin meat to have lying in your bags. Some orcs here,
Yes.
but they are allies. Gore's orcs.
Fine.
Though your legs ache and your stomach burns with hunger, you cannot help but feel a vague sense of anticipation.
Okay, there's that... Yeah.
Anything on your mind?
Let's go with the Godstone. Should be close to him.
You have my attention.
Who is this? My strange flesh friends! Did they bring more meat? Ah, yes, they did! Good flesh, but not best. We'll feed power, but not for long. God King thanks.
And you still complain.
Here, take! Found in tunnels, but God King don't need. Now go! Find more meat for God King, more meat for power! God King will give treasure.
Let's get the potion of revival.
Interesting.
Who is this? My strange... City goblins, is it not? God King likes. Chewy, yes, but good for power. God King thanks.
That's quite a lot of meat.
God King very happy. Strange flesh people friends. Again, God King has treasure. Bring him more for final treasure.
Only these damn potions. Not sure. That's quite a lot of value there. Well, these we can encounter a lot of them. I'm not sure what the empowerment potion does. Physical attributes of the Iskander battle mages. Okay, I'll hold off on that.
Who is this? My strange forest goblins, he sees. Good flesh, nice and green. Power will be pleased. Come, come, God King has present. God King grateful for so much flesh. God King will not have to eat scions for years now. This is his thanks. It's a spoon.
Nice.
Found long time ago in depths of caves. God King used it to cook flesh. Helps the power. You will have it. Now go. God King has no more treasures, but still needs meat.
Another potion. Let's get another one. Oh, I can get both of them? Okay.
Yes? What do strange flesh people want?
I think we'll...
He has nothing else for us, so let's just go back to Mulandir. And most of my side quests should be finished, I think. Just have to talk to everyone. I can also level up my heroes. You will get a bit more constitution. And I can give him more armor now. Or not. Well, you're okay. I did give my best armor for the heroes. The avatars performing well. Pretty well, I'd say, with the Vampiric Great Axe. The damage they deal to you, you get it back. I'll level up the heroes when we get back to Mulandir. Okay. Now, I apologize if this isn't as interesting. Let's see if I can handle a Devourer
Yes?
by myself. More Leech, obviously. I'll reset his skills later on if I see any need to. But yeah, I think I'll have to see what I do with Uram and him. Uram being a dual wielder and the Avatar being a two-handed fighter with a bit of black magic to it. Now Rowan. Well, I wouldn't want to make you a mage like this. So maybe Wrath of the Elements or the Fire Nova. This is a spell. Would be better as a perk. But let's do it. And strength. Bit more strength. Undergast. Let's see. Yep. Can also burn their focus.
You'll regret this.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Now we get a
What's next?
bit of health back whenever we attack it. It's gonna be a close one.
Yes?
Am I gonna have to cheat? Because I will.
I need healing.
Come on.
What's next? Yes.
He is stunning him a lot. Shit, yeah. We need to get out of here.
Damn it! I need healing. Understood.
Whew, he regenerates
What do we
like
need?
crazy. Okay, all I got from that was wasting a potion. I'm fine with it. Okay, so Undergast, let's get more... Well, actually, he's fine, so maybe a bit more constitution just to give him more health. Don't want him to get killed by 3 or 4 hits. Uram. Let's see. Strength, yeah. Having more brutality, maybe, yeah. Later on I'll have another look at this, and definitely more fire damage. Willpower. Isgrim. Can't get any more constitution, so willpower. No, not willpower. That's total focus points. Well, yeah, he does have some spells, but strength for the moment. Let's see. Yeah, for the moment let's give him willpower so I can take advantage of these spells. Head Splitter, maximum focus. Well, yeah, that's good. I do want him to use these skills primarily, so more focus will be useful. Area. Ricochet, yep. Let's get that. And Dexterity. You are fine.
Yes?
Now, what do I want to do? I would like to talk to everyone, so I can just move on to the elves in the next video. So let's go inside and talk to Gore, Iria, and Isgrim. Yeah, it's gonna be a slow video, but I need to get all of this out of the way so I can move on with the main quest. And I'll keep switching these abilities if I do get enough potions of fresh start. I have plenty and I'll get even more. So I can keep switching the avatar skills.
So, this is it, isn't it? Our base of operations?
So it seems.
An ancient shaper city on a quest to find a cure for the blood burn. And we're working for the purity of light. It sounds crazy if you say it like that. Just some weeks ago, I thought I'd be in Greyfell now, trying to make a fresh start as an innkeep.
Innkeep? You?
Hey, don't laugh. What's wrong with some honest work after years of defiling on the road? Getting up early in the morning, setting the tables, serving mulled wine and stew to tired, weary souls. Just a simple, honest life.
Yeah, your future is not an honest life.
Innkeeping is fun, until you find yourself on your knees at dawn, clearing up the puddles of vomit and beer these tired, weary souls left behind when they were done carousing.
Quite the cynic, aren't you?
Yeah, he is.
So, you'd leave it all behind? The adventuring?
You know. People always act as if these decisions are final. The only way to find out how much I'd like that kind of life is by taking a chance, isn't it? And if one day I wake up and find myself in need of a change, I can still pack up my things and hit the road again. Upsides of Elven blood. There's plenty of time.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. Yeah.
For what it's worth, I enjoy your company.
Sure you do. Who else would patch you up after the next monumental battle? Anyway, talk later, shall we? I'm sure you've got battles to prepare.
Well, now it's Underguest who patches me up, not you.
Corporal? Need anything?
I think so. She will have more to say later on. Well, this is quite a lot of dialogue options, but it's not necessary for now. Well, it is. Shit. Okay.
Tell me a bit about your time on the road. What was it like?
Is that a command, Corporal?
Yeah, you don't need to do this, but you will get experience from it, and they do get skills later on. So do it.
Please?
Alright, but I'm afraid there isn't so much to tell. Have you ever been on the road by yourself?
No.
No.
Well, then you probably don't know how wearisome it can get. Sleeping under the stars sounds romantic at first, until you realize that most of the time it's sleeping in the mud, in drizzle. Most of the time, your stomach and your purse are empty, and your feet are full of blisters. And, of course, there's the constant danger. Especially if you're traveling on your own.
Okay, so as you can see, they put a lot of effort into expanding the lore and the characters' backstories. And it's pretty well written.
Did you ever have a companion?
Some, yeah, but most of it was just temporary. Though there was one I traveled with for longer. Quentin.
How did you meet?
Coincidence. A small town between Finn and Mir and Lar. We played dice together and he cheated. When I called him out on it, he tried to turn tail. But one of the other guests stopped him for me. They wanted to go give him a beating, but I told them to stop. He gave me back my money and we started talking. And, believe it or not, we found that we got along quite well.
So you started traveling together? With a thief?
I wouldn't call him that. He was just young and careless. We ended up traveling for almost a year.
I see. What was your relationship?
You mean... no, we were just friends. He was way too young for my liking, and I think I was too old for him. We were more like sister and brother.
Elf. Of course you're too old for everyone.
What was his story? Where was he headed?
Into the blue, same as me. He had quite an interesting task, but I wouldn't feel comfortable sharing it with you, to be honest. He wouldn't want that.
Huh. So, how did you split up? What happened?
Nothing dramatic. We came by a village and decided to rest there for a while. The roads had become quite dangerous due to the mage wars, and we didn't want to go out unprepared. I did some healing for the villagers, and he helped out the local smith. He liked it, and the smith wanted him as an apprentice, so he stayed. I was surprised and a bit hurt at first, but then I realized it was probably for the better. I still think of him sometimes, though.
Huh. And how did you make a living?
That was the easiest part. I healed people.
With light magic?
Yes and no. It was my magic that mended the wounds, but since mages are often met with suspicion, how shall I say, got a little creative. Frankly put, whenever I treated someone, I gave them a magical potion to drink, which was just water mixed with some harmless herb to give it color. The rest was laying on hands to help the potion's effect, which was pure light magic and how I did the actual healing.
And that worked?
Better than you'd think. People were fighting over my panacea as if I was Ellen incarnate, while cursing the evil defilers who had caused this war. Ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Do you miss it sometimes? The vagabond life?
Well, we're still vagabonds somehow, aren't we? But I know what you mean. And yeah, I sometimes do. The wind on my skin, the vastness of the wildlands, and the fact that all you have to think about is the mile ahead of you. It's another world. There was this one night I'll never forget. I had made a camp at a clearing, set up campfire, and I was leaning against a tree, slowly drifting toward sleep. Then, all of a sudden, it started to rain. Not just the usual drizzle, it was bucketing down, drowning everything, the earth, the noise, the plants around me. My first impulse was to jump up, to find shelter, get my things into the dry. But I didn't. Instead, I saw. I don't know how else to put it. All of a sudden, there was this deep sense of peace, as if all my life I had been chasing something without knowing it myself. And in that moment, had found it. So I just watched. I sat there, and I watched. That feeling lasted until the sun came up. And then I fell asleep. When I woke up, it was gone.
And what do you make of it now?
Truth be told, I don't know. But it changed something. Even though I cannot say what it is.
Well, since most elves are dicks, maybe it made you less of a dick.
How are you holding up?
I think I'm good. And you? You're the pariah carrying out Aeonir's will, not me.
Well, getting by.
I'm getting by.
Aren't we all? So, can I help you with something?
Could you tell me a bit more about your homeland? Finalizing?
Well, it's not my homeland anymore, but yeah, shoot.
Whoa, okay. So that's what I was saying. They expand a lot on the lore.
How is human culture different from elven culture?
I assume you mean Nortander from Finalizing? There isn't one elven culture, as little as there's just the humans. Generally spoken, though, I wouldn't say they're too different. Especially not compared to the orcs. Life is a lot slower, mainly due to our lifespan, and elves are even more defined by tradition than humans. They revere nature and value tradition and rules above all else, and they are extremely aware of what they say, how they say it, and to whom. Which also makes it very easy to offend an elf. I'm an exception in that regard, but that was something my vagrant years taught me. But then again, not all elves are like that. There are some who care as little about Ellen the White Tree and the traditions as a troll cares about his morning toilet.
Okay, yeah.
What role does magic play among elves?
It's everywhere. Magic is considered a gift of Ellen, and it defines your standing in every possible way. We may have talked about that already, but the whole council who runs the country is made up of mages. Which is why the Purity will have a hard time finding followers in Finalizing, should they ever be naive enough to try.
I doubt that will ever happen. Elves have a very long lifespan. What's it like to live for so long?
Hard to say, since I don't know what a human body feels like. As an elf, you simply take it for granted. When I first realized how short a human life is during my travels, I was baffled. I've been on this world for 39 years now, and in the elven world, I'm hardly considered an adult.
39.
Here, I'd have delivered my 7th child by now. It's...
Whoa.
strange. That's the best way to describe it. But you know what I eventually came to realize?
Tell me.
That age doesn't necessarily make you wiser. I've talked to 30-year-old humans who understood more of the world than the ancient seers of Finalizing. It's all about experiences.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Interesting. There was something else I wanted to ask.
Sure. What?
Now, this is something that SpellForce always needed, expanding the lore.
You never told me why you fled Finalizing.
Oh, well, that's A long story. One I'd rather not discuss now, if you don't mind.
All right. Then maybe another time.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, so this is what I was mentioning. They will, bit by bit, reveal more of their backstory as you go on with the main quest, and that way they will gain more skills, I think. I think that's...
Corporal? Need anything?
This might sound odd, but why did you join me? It was me the Harbinger wanted.
Why are you asking? If you want me to leave, you can just say it. No hard feelings.
No, I just want to understand. You've been putting yourself in a lot of danger for our cause.
I guess so. Well, I hate to disappoint, but I don't think there's a particular reason. As you pointed out in the prison, I'm a fugitive as much as you are, and my best chance of survival was sticking with you.
Well, yeah.
Goodbye.
Makes sense.
What do we need?
Well, just goodbye. Now, I do not want to go to the war table. I still want the elves. I still need to go to Leafshade to talk to them. But I want to talk to Gore. Before I do that, let me save, so nothing goes wrong.
Now would you look at that?
Zal Raka.
Gore, how are you and the Fire Wielders settling in?
All right, I guess. Though there've been some quarrels between my warriors and these mercenaries. But don't worry, I took care of it. And that Rowan promised to do the same. Nonetheless, Tahar, I have to say it. I don't like this place. Not at all.
Why not?
I guess it's the people who once lived here. The Shapers. They were corrupted. And I can feel that corruption even now.
Corrupted?
Yeah. Their customs, their culture. They were completely detached from the order of nature.
Well, yeah, they're dead now.
How so?
Do you even need to ask? Just look around. Ghost warriors, strange machines, strange buildings. Especially this place, this Nexus. They thought they were above everything, even the gods. And they meddled with things they didn't understand. It's disgusting.
Well, they're dead now.
Maybe. But I can still feel their presence. Anyway, nothing we can do about it. If the Shapers caused the blood burn, I understand why we need this place. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Yep,
Yes.
it is.
Huh?
What's it like to change form? I've been wondering about that since I met you.
I can imagine. It's exhilarating and strange at the same time. If it taught me one thing, then it's how foolish it is to put the mind above every other aspect of the body. Many people do that, especially scholars or mages.
What do you mean?
Because the shape of our flesh is so much more than just a shell. It defines us. When I take on the form of a wolf, for example, this wolf isn't just me with fangs and paws. It's a different version of myself.
A different version?
Yes. You can understand if you haven't been there. But I guess you could say that when I'm taking on a creature's form, a part of my mind gets infused with that creature's essence. The thirst for the hunt. Thinking as part of a pack, just to name the most obvious aspects. They meld with my mind. When I was young and first started shifting, the creature always dominated. It was like a feverish dream, and I had almost no control over my actions. With time, it got better.
Not only do they expand the lore, but the voice actors did an amazing work.
Did you ever completely lose control when you were in another form?
In the beginning, yes. But the Elder always made sure I was in a controlled environment when I did my first transformations.
How does it feel to shift into a spider?
Strange. Being a mammal, a wolf or bear, it feels different, but still somehow familiar. A spider is something else entirely. The way you see, The way you perceive, the way you feel. The first time I shifted, I couldn't bear it for more than a minute, and it haunted me for weeks after that.
Yeah, I imagine.
Understandably so.
How do you learn a new form?
That's complicated. First you have to understand that creature, observe it, live with it if possible. That can take months, years, sometimes decades. Then there's what we shamans call the first joining. You have to visualize your shift.
How does that work?
I can't explain it. It's like your first bloodshed. It can't be explained, only experienced.
So in theory, could you transform into anything? Even, say, a wyvern, a dragon?
In theory, yes. In practice, there's no known shapeshifter who has ever done that. Save for old orcish legends, maybe.
Why not?
First off, there aren't many dragons around to study. And even if there were, you aren't likely to survive it. Secondly, transforming into something that enormous, it can be lethal. Our minds, our essence just isn't fit to govern such a massive body. Only some years ago, there was talk of an Ash Reaver shifter who had attempted to morph into a troll. He succeeded, but his heart, the troll's heart, stopped before he could take a single step. So you see why most shifters aren't that eager to experiment.
Huh, well, that's definitely interesting. Thanks for taking the time to explain.
Sure.
Well, how about Orcish culture?
Back in Barga Gor, you told me that you think the orcs should strive to be more. What do you mean by that? Do you consider your culture to be, well, inferior?
Inferior? No, not at all. On the contrary, I'm glad to be a fire wielder, and not a human or an elf.
Why?
Because not so unlike the Shapers, your culture is bigoted, strange. You like to tell yourselves you're more than the animals you slaughter for food. You call yourselves civilized. But in the end, you look for the struggle just as anything and anyone else does. But of course you don't admit to it. You want to be better than that. And the result are lies, intrigue, wars, and assassinations. Their culture is so bizarre that it's almost amusing.
Well, it's pretty... Well, he's right. I agree.
Well, you have a point.
I know. So no, I don't consider our culture to be inferior. But we've gone astray. Fools such as Krell was one. They're the reason your race looks down on us. If Zakrak had wanted us to be ever-fighting, ravaging brutes, he wouldn't have given us minds to begin with. Every brawl, every battle, every war has to have a purpose. It isn't something done for pleasure. Yes, it can be enjoyed. But at its core, it is ritual. The most basic one of nature.
In other words, violence and war are good and necessary, but only within measure?
Yes, and it should be learned from. That's where most orcs disagree. They claim to value wisdom, but when asked to choose between words and a club, they always choose the club. And as you see, this is why our culture has stagnated. In its current state, there will never be an orc empire, a great tribe, or the earth-shaking horde Zarek envisioned.
So what you want is to lead your people to a better future?
You make it sound so dramatic. For now, the Fire Wielders are a good start. And by helping you, they will hopefully see that diplomacy and strength don't always contradict each other. After that, we shall see.
Well, he is right. The orcs will never have a sort of a kingdom, or even close to an empire, since they just prefer to kill each other.
Don't you think a world without violence is possible?
No.
Why? Isn't that
Simple
what
as
we
that.
should all aspire to?
We should aspire to a lot of things. But tell me, Tahar, this world has existed for millennia. And has there ever been peace? Lasting peace?
No.
No.
Exactly. And you don't think there's a reason for this? As I said, our very existence is based on conflict. Finding food, not freezing to death. Living means to struggle. Your people, with your warm clothes and banquets, try all in your power to forget that fact. But you can't, because ultimately, there's as much thirst for struggle in you as in an orc. What we orcs believe is that we should embrace it, that we should just face the truth, even if it's ugly. That the ways of nature can't be changed by its creation. It's like fighting the tides.
So what? Do we just kill each other whenever we feel like it?
No. What we need is a way to channel our urges. Ceremonial battles, arenas. A society that is centered around survival and strength, and gains, rather than loses stability from it. Because if we simply suppress these urges, such as humans, the elves, and the dwarves do, they will at one point only erupt even more violently.
He is somewhat right. You might be right, yeah.
I never looked at it that way. But I think you might be right.
You never fail to surprise, Tahar. Anyway, where were we?
That's quite a lot of dialogue, guys, but yeah, I love it.
Did you always have these ambitions?
No.
Then where did they come from?
None of your business, Tahar.
Oh,
Sorry.
All right.
simple as that.
Well, thanks for explaining.
Sure.
None of your business.
I'll be off.
Oh man, I love him.
Will do.
So yeah, it will take quite a while for him to feel comfortable talking to you. He will open up in time, but it makes sense. He won't just
Will do.
tell you his life story. And he's an orc. It's not like all of them are used to it.
To this day, the Shaper's magical and technological prowess.
Okay, so all I have left is Undergast, to talk to Rowan as well. Maybe Uram, but I think I've talked everything with him.
Yeah, wait. What's that?
I'm sorry?
That thing you've got there, that shard. Can I take a look at it for a second? Nihalf's hammer. This is amazing. No, more than that. This is phenomenal.
I don't follow. What's so special about this thing?
This thing, as you call it, is part of an artifact. One that the scholars have been writing about for centuries. Blazes, Tahar. Sometimes I wonder why it's always you who find such treasures, and not me. Look, if you find more of these, please bring them to me as fast as you can. It might be possible to reconstruct them, and that... I can't even begin to imagine what that would entail.
Okay. If I find more pieces, I'll bring them to you.
You have to. Nihalf's hammer, I still can't believe it.
Yes.
Okay, we will get most of them, I think. If not, I can just look online for it.
I found some materials. Could you use these to upgrade your armor?
Let me see. Oh, yeah, that could work. I'll start working as soon as possible.
Great.
Nice.
Yes.
There we go. Thanks, Tahar.
No, thank you.
Ah, Tahar. How nice of you to come by.
Made yourself comfortable?
Comfortable? Believe me, being comfortable is the last thing on my mind right now. Just look at this place. A Shaper city. Don't you feel it too? This sense of divinity?
Not really. But yeah.
You seem to be quite excited to be here.
Why, of course I am. Tahar, I'm not sure if you understand how much this means to me. The forgotten city of Mulandir, the heritage of the Shapers. Since my childhood days, I've dreamed of this. I suppose what I'm trying to say is, thank you. You and the Harbinger have made this dream come true.
Well, the Harbinger did nothing besides free me, but okay. But... yeah.
Well, all we did was save you from the orcs. You were the one who found the entrance.
You make it sound as if saving me from those greenskins was an easy feat. It wasn't. Anything else I can help you with? If not, I'd like to take another look at that rune Lecain gave us. It's at least as amazing as this place.
Anything else?
Yeah, do you need something? I'm a tad busy.
Whoa, that's a lot.
That armor you're wearing looks quite special. Is it from Windwall?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, it's from Windwall. I forged it myself. Why do you ask?
Well, our smiths might be able to forge you a better one. It looks quite worn.
What? No. No, that's not gonna happen.
Why not?
It means something to me. But if it's my protection you're worried about, I can do some work on it myself. You'd have to cover the expenses, though. I'm a bit short on material these days.
Fair enough. I'll let you know if I have some resources to spare.
Okay, simple enough.
Found out anything new about the rune?
Well, so far all I can say is that what Lecain has given you is indeed a Shaper artifact, as we suspected. Now, I would write all this purity talk of the rune being a gift of Aenir off as religious nonsense if it weren't for the fact that the rune's energy actually interacts with the Godstones, shrines of Aenir.
Which means that the Shapers and Aenir are somehow connected.
Somehow, yes. And I'll find out how.
I've been meaning to ask you, how does a dwarf end up so far from the Windwall Mountains?
Let's not talk about this now, shall we? Maybe later.
All right, sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No sweat, Tahar. It's fine.
Okay, we'll learn more about that later on.
How does one make a living as an archaeologist?
Good question. One I usually prefer not to think or talk about. To be honest, it's a tough life. For some obscure reason, only very few scholars take interest in the Shaper or the Hibernian culture, even though there is so much to be found. It's a shame.
Like what? What is there to be found?
What? You mean apart from monumental steel constructs, ghost warriors, and a city full of ancient secrets to be discovered? A lot. But that's another topic.
How do you explain that lack of interest?
Well, what do you think? Ignorance. No matter if it's orcs, elves, dwarves, or humans. We're all terribly bad at learning from the past. Blasted, there's so much to be found, so much to be explored. Not just riches, but the technology, wisdom, and ancient secrets. But no, for some reason, the people with the coin just don't care. The only ones who even try to access this treasure are incompetent amateur treasure hunters, who usually get their heads chopped off by the first defense mechanism they walk into.
Well, yeah.
True. It's a pity.
But I suppose that answers your question. The life of an archaeologist is hard, and there have been times where I questioned if all the sacrifices I've made were worth it. Yet, here I am now.
Okay then.
What are your thoughts on the Harbinger, Rondar Lecain?
Well, he's my employer. Without him, I wouldn't be on this mission. Or, what do you mean?
I was trying to say, how do you feel about what he stands for? The purity of light, Aenir's return.
Oh, that. I'm not certain I have an opinion on these matters.
Don't you care who you're working for?
Truth be told, not that much. Making a living as an archaeologist is hard enough as it is. I can't afford to be picky. And in all honesty, aren't Lecain and his fellows just more of the same? There have always been cults who weren't happy with the Guardians and believed they had found the true and only God. There was even that one who believed in a sort of schizophrenic God, who was both the trinity of three different beings and the singular omnipotent God at the same time. However that's supposed to work. Sounds funny when you think about it, but those lads were dead serious.
So you think the purity is harmless?
Of course they are. And like any other fanatic, he and his fellows will go down once people realize his God doesn't have all the answers.
Oh yeah, harmless. Isrim, you are in for a rude awakening.
So you don't believe in Aenir's return? In the new world?
No, I don't.
But there's truth to what the purity claims. The Guardians have been unusually silent.
Yeah, because maybe they finally realized how silly and ungrateful most of their creations are and decided not to bother anymore. What I'm trying to say is, there could be all kinds of reasons why they've withdrawn. And I doubt a bonkers robe-wearing lad such as Lecain knows the answer.
Oh, yeah. I would agree with you there.
Does the Harbinger know you feel that way?
No, I guess not, but he doesn't need to know about that, does he?
No, he doesn't.
I'm sorry, Iskrim, but Lacane is different. The Purity is more influential than any other of these cults that came and went.
Oh, now you're blowing this out of proportion. It's not that bad.
If dozens of mages being murdered and branded doesn't qualify as bad, then no, I'm not.
Fair enough. Maybe you have a point. But I don't see how it changes anything about our mission. Lacane didn't hire us to kill people, but to save them. And I consider that a respectable goal.
Okay then.
There's something I've been wondering about. How did your cooperation with the Harbinger begin?
Well, that was simple. I was in Everlight at the time, on request of the nobleman. He'd hired me to do some work on an artifact collection of his. One night, a courier contacted me and gave me a letter. The message outlined the mission and the pay, even though the latter was almost irrelevant to me once I realized what it was that Lacane wanted me to find.
Mulandir.
Yeah. You know the rest of the story.
What exactly is it that fascinates you about the Shapers?
Oh, Tahar, that's quite a topic. I don't mind sharing, but are you sure you want to go there?
Oh man. Maybe this is gonna be a long one.
I am. Tell me.
Alright. Well, where do I start? You see, the Shapers have always fascinated me. They're all over Io. These remnants of a once so glorious civilization. Yet for some reason, so many people are almost oblivious to it. On the one hand, of course, that's very sad. On the other hand, it also makes it a lot more exciting. It's like I'm a treasure hunter, only that everyone else fails to see the treasures around us. Tell me, Tahar, when seeing all of this, don't you sometimes feel like you're exploring a childhood dream? The kind of world the poets and the bards always spoke of?
Yeah, let's be polite here.
Sometimes, yes. It's dark, but also fascinating.
Absolutely. But this childish fascination was only the spark. The more I studied the Shapers, the more enthralled I became with their culture. Did you know that at the pinnacle of their existence, they ruled over all of Io? A global empire with no one to oppose them.
You seem to consider that a good thing.
Oh, good, bad, the world doesn't work like that. Of course, there are writings that hint at the fact that the Shaper Empire wasn't all rainbows and unicorns, but still it was stable. And it persisted for tens of thousands of years. Can you imagine? All this knowledge, all this art, all this wisdom. Nothing in the Io of today can match that. Nothing. It's like comparing a sea full of secrets with a puddle of muddy water.
Yeah, let's just move on.
And yet, they died out.
Yeah. Great mystery.
Most scholars think it was the dragons.
They do, but I doubt it. You saw what the Shapers were capable of. Even a race as powerful as the dragons couldn't have wiped them out. And you see the shape this city is in, Tahar. There's no traces of fire and destruction. But regardless of what it was, it doesn't change the fact that the way the current races of this world treat the Shapers is nothing short of pathetic. They were greater than we'll ever be. But instead of studying this greatness, we ignore them. And why? Just because it doesn't fit into our religion, our traditions, or whatever reason they can come up with. Because to many, admitting what a marvel the Shapers truly were would mean admitting that our culture is pale in comparison.
Well, okay, but let's not ignore our cultures. He's grim, man. He's such a fanboy of the Shapers. Yeah, we could learn something.
Maybe you're right. There's a lot we could learn from the Shapers.
There is. In any case, I suppose you found your answer, haven't you? This is what fascinates me about the Shapers. They're a reminder of what we could be, if only we wanted to.
I see. Well, thanks for the explanation, Iskrim. I appreciate it.
Well, okay then.
Goodbye.
Tahar, may I
Nothing
help you
else?
with some...
Goodbye.
That took a while. I could get more, and I can listen to these voice actors for hours and hours. But I need to keep on moving with the video, or else it's gonna be 2 hours long, if it isn't already. So yeah, I like this narrative direction they're going with. Already talked to Gore, so now let's go talk to Undergast and Rowan. I'll leave Rowan for last.
What do we need?
Of course I will. Okay, so Undergast is all the way up here. There should be another Godstone up there, but I don't have it. So I might as well get it.
Yes?
Nothing else over here. Uram is down here, but I have no quest notification for him, so we probably don't need to talk to him yet. Okay, I know there's a Godstone somewhere up here. I would like to get it just to make things easier later on. There it is.
Let's see.
So now let's talk to him. Another great
What's next?
character. All of them are awesome.
I must say, I am impressed.
With Mulandir? Yes. It's quite a sight. I still can't believe we're the first ones who found this place.
It seems unlikely, yes, but yet it happened. Isgrim, the dwarf, told me about it. He said that the rock illusion shielding the entrance vanished as soon as you spoke the words, and that it did not react to Isgrim himself. Tell me, Tahar, what do you make of that?
Maybe I'm connected to this place.
But how? I know there is more to you than meets the eye. Something about you is different, although I cannot say what it is. I believe we stand on the verge of a change. Things have happened, Tahar. Things, the extent of which we have not even come close to comprehending. And they have set something in motion.
How do you know this? Are you some kind of medium?
A medium? No, quite the opposite. I'm an observer. As you have undoubtedly noticed, I lack the, let us call it emotional intensity most people display in their daily lives. That can be a challenge, but it also allows me a unique perspective on the world. And to me, it is evident that the war your father started has done more than simply given birth to the purity of light. It was the first pebble in what will soon become an avalanche.
You're talking about the Bloodburn?
Among other things, yes. But as I said, there is more to it. All this, your journey, your role in what Rondar Lacane believes to be a vision sent by Aenir. It is only the beginning. But let us continue this discussion when I can give you more than vague, semi-prophetic statements.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll talk later.
Makes
Why?
sense.
When?
When something comes up. I'll go prepare for our next mission now.
Understood.
Poor guy just can't handle the average human conversation. Now, Rowan.
What do we need?
Now, if I did use a potion of fresh start and reset all of the avatar skills, I would probably be able to beat that devourer. I'm getting kinda salty about not being able to kill it with the avatar alone, but I think I'll leave that for another video. This one has been quite long already, so let's talk to Rowan.
Now would you...
Tahar.
Seems your men have made themselves comfortable.
Yeah, they have. There was a small disagreement between Flynn and the orcs, but we settled that, so it's all good now. But I'm guessing that's not what you came here for. You want to talk, right? About what I did 8 years ago?
What do we want to say here? Yeah.
Actually, I just want to know if what you said in Everlight is true. Do you regret fighting in the Mage Rebellion?
The big question. I guess the answer is mostly yes and partially no. I do not regret standing up for what your father claimed to be fighting for. But what I do regret is not seeing what he really was earlier. Look, Tahar, seeing Zane and Helena die, thinking that the same would happen to you, it killed me. But back then, I was just too blind. I still believed your father was doing good, and that you three were misguided. You see, I joined Asamo because there was truth in his words. The masks, the pikes, all that hatred against us defilers that the purity of light is spreading now. It was all already there. The people always feared us, simply because we were different. Because we are better than they. Your father, he knew something like that would happen eventually. So he stood up and tried to stop it before it was too late. At least that's what he said. And to be honest, I still don't know if he only lost that vision, or had never had it to begin with.
I can't believe you're saying this. The reason the people hate us mages now is because of what my father did. He confirmed their fears for them by starting this goddamn war.
Oh, really? And what about all that shit that happened beforehand? The witch burnings, mages driven out of the cities, gifted children abandoned by their mothers.
Well, yeah.
Did you just say because we were better?
Yes, better. How else should I say it? We cast fire from our hands, heal wounds with a mere thought, so how would you call it? I call it superior. And the ungifted know it as well as we do. But does that mean that we want to kill them? No. We're not animals, we're people, just like they are. Only that we are the lions and they are the cats. We didn't choose to be that way, but it's what nature chose for us.
Oh.
I don't know. But to me, it sounds like you're still trying to justify what you did in that war.
That's where you're wrong. It's not all black and white, Tahar. And you of all people should know that. I know I made mistakes. And I've spent the past 7 years making amends. What else do you think the Wayfarers are for? Why else would I have left? And look, I do not expect you to forgive me. I don't even know if I could do it if I were in your position.
I remember that back in the rebellion, ancient relics such as the Godstones were your speciality. Is there anything interesting you could tell me about
there
them?
to the portal
Interesting?
network.
That depends on what you mean by that. I mean, it goes without saying that what this rune allows us to do is beyond fascinating. Apart from that, I could only tell you the things you already know. How both the Hibernians and Shapers worshipped them and harnessed their magic. But that's about it.
Nice hint there towards the portal network. He is the creator of it.
So, regarding the Wayfarers, you said that you founded them to make amends. Is that true? And if yes, how did you found them?
Yes, otherwise I wouldn't have said it. As to how I formed them, it's a long story. And maybe one we should save for later.
Yeah.
I want to talk about my father.
I figured you'd want to eventually. What is it you want to know?
Do you think it's true? But he was simply crazy.
Towards the end, yes. He had certainly lost his sanity. But before that, I still don't know. I've said it before, but there's one part of me that likes to think he was a madman to begin with. And then there's the other voice that tells me that he was merely a visionary who had lost his way. But if there's one thing I know, it's that he was a leader. Whenever he spoke to us, it was electric. To this day, I've never seen someone with his charisma.
You sound almost nostalgic.
Nostalgic? No. It's just... I've never met someone with that energy. You have some of it, Tahar. I only started to realize that here. But most of it is still asleep.
This might sound strange, but do you see any resemblance between him and me?
Interesting that you ask. Yes, there were moments where I could not help but notice that certain... something that strongly reminds me of your father.
Could you be a bit more specific?
Well, I think that the best way to describe it is a sort of look in your eyes. It's somehow distant, but at the same time driven and intense. And it can be both intimidating and charismatic. I believe that it's this energy that helped your father rally the noble houses and all these mages behind him. And ironic as it may be, it might help you with our cause too.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
My father never told me how he grew up. Do you know anything about that?
About his childhood? I'm afraid not. He shared some fragments of his past with me, but probably no more than he shared with you.
Let's discuss something else.
Okay then, so
I'll
that's
be off.
finished.
What's
Okay,
next?
so it took quite a while, but I did
Understood.
manage to close up most of the side quests, probably all of them, until I continue with the main quest. So now I think it's time to move on to the Elves, so we can gain all of our support and have support from all 3 nations. We have our own small army, well, basically the support of the majority of the tribes of the orcs, a small human army, and now we can get the elves as well. So that'll be the next video. I'll go to Leafshade to get some elven allies. I think it's Leafshade, yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. A nice bit of lore in this video. I mean, I can't get tired of it. You guys might not like these long
What do we
drawn out,
need?
well, dialogues, but I mean, they're awesome.
Yes.
Great voice actors, great attention to detail, and I just love seeing Rowan again. Okay, and let's
What do
just
we
talk
need?
to Burgle.
So, this is it? Your fabled fortress?
You don't sound.
It'll do. All I need is a good forge. My ingenious mind will do the rest. Though these orcish smiths you've employed so far certainly don't deserve their title.
What do you mean?
Because they are amateurs, and that's putting it lightly. Just give me some coin for material and send them my way. Then I can teach them what a true orcish axe or armor should look like.
Will do. So long, Berg.
Yes, yes, of course. Goodbye.
And he's
Yes,
arrogant
yes.
as hell.
Looking for some
for an
orcish
orc.
craftsmanship?
Medium armor of the owl. Okay, can upgrade the orc. Yeah, some orc units, especially the trolls. Expensive as hell, but we'll come back to it later. So yeah, I think it's gonna be it for this video. Next time will be the elves, as I've already mentioned. At least like 10 times already. So yeah, let's close off the video. It's gonna take quite a while to render, but it's worth it.
What's
So
next?
thanks a lot for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.